So I was in the Army from 1995 to 1998. I was in the 82nd Airborne. I was in the field artillery as a paratrooper, and basically I was a cannoneer for about the first 6 months of at my actual duty station, and then I was repurposed after that, and I was a commander's driver, and then I also did basically any job that needed to be done. We were short people all the time, so I would fill in whatever it was, and basically I did that for 3 years, and it was extremely difficult. The 82nd was very demanding, and but it was a great experience.
I was in the U.S. Army National Guard for 4 years, and I mostly did training. I was not deployed, but I learned how to be a U.S. soldier.
So I was never deployed to combat. 2 times I narrowly missed going to combat, and but we trained nonstop. I think last year I was in the military. I spent 277 days in the field, and that's a long time to be away from your family. But I was single, you know, I didn't have children or anything, but of course I miss my family from home and friends, but most of them were in college anyway, so. But it was difficult during the holidays, especially when you were not at home.
I wasn't deployed outside the country. I went to trainings in Alabama and Missouri, and it was tough. I didn't get to talk to my family for 12 weeks once, and then another 4 weeks another time. But I think other people had it a lot harder if they went to other lands or had tougher circumstances.
So it would usually start about 3:30 in the morning. We'd get up and I would go to our office. And it's not all climbing through the mud and stuff when you're in the military. There's a lot of coordination and stuff that has to happen. I would do some office duties, and then we would do physical training, and then breakfast. And then we'd do whatever task we had to do. It was usually training of some sort. I did a lot of coordination training and things like that. I was by myself a lot, just because of the job that I had. So kind of had to learn to be self-sufficient and, you know, get the task done by yourself. But usually about 3:30 to 5:30 in the afternoon on a typical day. That was basically at work.
It was boring. The motto of the Army is hurry up and wait. You get to where you're going, and then you wait to be told what to do, and then eventually you're told. So there's a lot of waiting, and there's no phones, or there's no playing around or talking. So it's very boring at times, but then there's these pointed moments of a lot of activity and excitement.
Well, I think we live in a great country. It's not perfect, but we have every opportunity imaginable here. And for me, I think it was an honor to be part of the legacy, you know, to carry our freedom on. It's a small part, but, you know, that's what honor means to me.
I think other people had a lot more honor than I did. They did a lot more, but honor for me is the reward of virtue. Doing the right thing for a long period of time makes you feel good about what you've accomplished.
Well, I think there's 2 things. One, when you separate from the military, the transition into civilian life is probably more difficult than I anticipated it would be. Basically, I went from being in the elite forces one day to college and a job literally, you know, in a couple of days. So, you know, you're in a totally different lifestyle, you know, coming from such a structured lifestyle to no structure whatsoever. That was kind of difficult. But I think the other thing is not something that I experienced personally, but the mental health of people that are coming out of the military. You know, a lot of people serving in combat have issues of PTSD, things like that. There's a lot more help for them now than what there was. But I have personally seen, you know, a lot of issues with that, suicides, things like that. And that's something that's very real that people need to understand, you know, that people like that need help. And it is available more so than it was in the past. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Veterans that have been in war zones, it's hard for us to imagine what they've gone through. It's very difficult for them to adjust to life back on the civilian side. And I think they need a lot of compassion, a lot of support, a lot of encouragement. And again, it's not anything that I can relate to personally. I wasn't in combat, but the people I knew that were, it's just a very hard adjustment back to what we would consider regular life.
Three teens were arrested today for defacing the Kensington Park War Memorial overnight. The destruction includes painted messages against the military and the war in the Middle East. The three teens were picked up in the early morning hours after evidence was left at the scene.
Grandpa, something wrong?
Some people sure have short memories, and those who are too young to know need to be taught. Come on, I want to show you guys something.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
At dawn on the morning of the 6th of June, 1944, 225 Rangers jumped off the British landing craft and ran to the bottom of these cliffs. 225 came here. After 2 days of fighting, only 90 could still bear arms. These are the boys of Puente Lobo. These are the men who took the cliffs. These are the champions who helped free a continent. And these are the heroes who helped end a war. You are men who in your, quote, lives fought for life and left the vivid air signed with your honor.
In the name of God and country, I learned to defy gravity.
To honor my family,
I lived in the belly of a beast.
I fixed the hearts of iron monsters.
I became a worm in the mud for dignity,
For honor, for righteousness' sake.
for God and country.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
For you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
For you.
For you.
For you.
For you. I fought for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you, and I'd do it again.